Yes.
Okay. So today, our Commissioner Secretary Education Department, Shri Vijay Mantri sir, has had called a major review meeting, I would say, where all the DSCOs, joint DSCOs, DSCOs, SDSCOs, and also the DMCs and all other supporting staff were there from all the district. And there were certain agendas which were discussed. The first is that the vacancies which are there in several category of schools and how we can rationalize it, especially in government and SSA schools. The second agenda was that there are certain schools which are unrecognized still in the system. There's roughly in our state there are 500 schools which are still unrecognized. Now what recognition means is that there is some kind of a document which is issued by the government or government officials. For example, elementary schools, the DSCOs are supposed to issue the recognition. There are different forms of document. It can be a opening permission, it can be a provisional recognition, it can be a permanent recognition. But unfortunately, in the system, because of the legacy issues that is in the past, without receiving these recognitions, schools have opened up. They are functioning. In fact, they have a UDICE code as well. So now there is an instruction from Government of India also that we have to take care of these unrecognized schools. So we have asked them to go and verify whether they have all the required basic amenities so that they can be recognized. So this is very important. The next point which was discussed is about clustering of schools. So now what has happened is that in the same place, in the same school, there are different sections. There may be LP school which is recognized as a different school, UP school is having some different UDICE code, secondary school is having some different UDICE code because they are getting aids from different schemes. So in principle they are only one school at one place, but basically they are like in the system they are being shown as four schools. So what this means is that if we merge all these kind of schools, if there is some kind of a merger and they are supposed to be one school, then our total number of schools will come down drastically. This problem has been flagged by Honorable Chief Minister also. He has given a presentation to media also. You have seen that how a small state of Meghalaya has such a high number of schools. So this is one factor which will help us to consolidate, because the NEP, the education policy, the 2020, it says that we should go for composite schools. That means we should try to have composite schools. Composite schools means that right from the pre-primary it should have to class 12th. Because if there are different schools, like one place you are having LP, 2 kilometers from here you have UP, 10 kilometers you have secondary, then somewhere you have higher secondary. So on an average, a student in Meghalaya has to change the school during his lifetime in schooling. He has to change his school like 4 times. So that results in dropout. So we should take some steps for composite schools. So this clustering of schools basically. So now what will happen is that our DSCOs, SDSCOs, SIs, BRP, CRP, they will go to the field, they'll check what are these schools and then they'll report to us. And then from department the decisions will be taken. Another point which was discussed was that inspection of schools. So now our session this time started on 10th of February, and on the first day itself from Diesel we had issued a instruction to all the DSCs, go to the field, check whether the schools are open or not. So they have gone, they have given their results and all that. But we want to make it a regular affair, and we have told them that whenever there is a possibility, they should inspect more and more schools. And there are different aspects of inspection, whether teacher is there, whether meals are served, whether books are there, whether uniform are there. So they have been told to inspect, including the SIs, DSCOs, DMCs, everyone. We have given instructions to increase the number of inspections and share the results with us. We have also developed an app, which is the school monitoring app, and we have asked them to, whenever they go to a school, what happens is that they just go, come and see, but nothing is documented. So now with this app, they will document what is there in the school, what is not. So we will also, sitting here, we can also see what is happening. Then Commissioner Secretary has also briefed everyone on the Meghalaya School Education Act 1981, which is the primary act which we have on school education. And there are various provisions which requires revisiting and implementation. Many times what happens is that we do have provisions in law for various things, but we do not implement it. So that is why he thoroughly briefed everyone on all the aspects of the School Education Act, and everyone has been directed to implement this and to give suggestions in case some changes has to be made, because this was in 1981. Then there are some other issues which we have asked them. The Aadhaar ID, for example, now APAR ID. Now every student. So now this is very important that in the country, this APAR ID, every student is supposed to have a APAR ID, and this APAR ID will continue even in college. So when you transfer from one school to another school, this APAR ID will be required. This is in the UDICE system, and school have to generate it. The percentage, we just have started school, so our percentage is that this is only 1 to 2%. So we have asked them to push for this. We have also shared with them how these opening permissions are to be issued, how recognition is to be issued to the schools, and we have to expedite all the pending cases which are there. So this kind of meeting, so basically I think for the in the last couple of years, this is the first time that everyone was here, and the Commissioner Secretary is of the view that we will have more of such regular meetings, so that all the issues of education, because these are the stakeholders at the district level and the subdivision level. So we'll be calling them and we'll be constantly interacting them to resolve all the issues. So that is all from my side. If there is any questions, I can take.